and let's jump right into it.
Alright, so how's the day going so far?
Well, I usually like to say it was great. However, it's been stressful. I was supposed to have a guest like an hour ago. However, he was having problems downloading the Riverside app to jump on. I told him try PC desktop because that always works. Then he said that his internet's working, which is understandable because most networks, most internet networks aren't functional these days. It's very patchy. So yeah.
Okay, what was the guest? What did he or he?
Yeah, it's a he.
Okay, what did he, like,
So
as a professional, like, what were you going to interview him about?
I was going to interview him about being an internationally known musician, author, and an online fiddle instructor.
Online fiddle instructor?
Yeah.
Wait, fiddle?
Yeah, fiddle. Yes.
That doesn't sound right, but alright.
No, it may sound like something else, but it's not like that. It's an
I,
actual instrument.
it's an instrument. Okay.
Yes.
Fiddle.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that doesn't, yeah, I know it wasn't that, but like, I'm just saying it doesn't sound right.
I understand. It's something else. It's just blah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, my day was pretty calm. It's like I didn't really do anything if I'm being honest with you. I mean, I went out, I got some packages that I ordered, and I was also supposed to like do a job. I was supposed to get a new job, but I realized that it was too far away from me, and I would need a car. So yeah, don't have a job, but not really worried.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So that's pretty much me. But hey, I'll be honest. How many guests have you like interviewed? Like this, so far.
Well, I've I've interviewed so many guests in the past 2 years. However, in terms of this week, not a lot, and all of which mostly had to either reschedule because one of them said I have to listen to a podcast episode that he has done to get an understanding of what we want to talk about. There was one that didn't show up. There was no reason for why he was unable to show up.
He
It just
just
happened.
like ghosted, like left you on red, or
Yeah, like he had to reschedule time because his health wasn't at his best. And then when the time come when he initially rescheduled, upon that reason, yeah, I was waiting and just didn't happen.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I remember going through that as well. It's like people would reschedule. Then at a point I was like, okay, yeah, we're just not gonna do the episode, bro, because you keep rescheduling.
Yeah. In fact, I knew at one point this would happen. So there was a cancellation rule policy where if you rescheduled more than twice, especially if there's like emergency or urgent circumstances, which you're allowed at least one, apparently. But after that, next time you reschedule or you're unable to show up for the time you scheduled, that's it.
Oh,
Because I knew something like that is going to happen, and there's not much I could do. So there has to be some way to lay down the line so that people understand that whatever happens, it will come to them, and there has to be shown an example for it to work.
yeah, pretty much. It's like hey, but it is what it is, though. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, when I would used to reschedule, I'd probably give them like a, a lot of chances. Actually, I don't even know how many, but it's like then eventually I was just fed up. I was like, okay, I'm tired of talking about this. Just no, we're not gonna do the episode. I think I think sometimes I'd come off as rude about it, but it's like I was just tired of the whole dance. I'm like, look, if you can't do it, that's fine. Just tell me you can't do it instead of rescheduling it and wasting both of our time.
Yeah. In fact, I remember there's this website called matchmaker.fm where you would directly message someone to ask them to join a podcast. One guy messaged said he was able to join to have an interview on the podcast because he lives in a different time zone, which is something that I have dealt with a lot of guests. A lot of guests I've dealt with have always lived in a different time zone at some point. So why give what I have seen with other guests as the reason why you can't join? Like, I'm not sure how big of a time difference it is, but
Probably wasn't that big.
I've dealt with that in the past, and I don't see how that could be a problem with you.
It probably wasn't that big of a time difference either. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, like he was from the East Coast of the US, so yeah, I have interviews with a lot of guests on the East Coast at different times, especially my time,
Did you
3, 4, 5 in the morning. So
did you
yeah,
tell?
I can have
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, I have many guests from I had many East Coast US guests in many times throughout my life in the 24-hour clock, and I handle it just fine. I don't see how it wouldn't able to work.
Did you say like wouldn't be a problem, or did you just say okay?
I just said, okay, I understand. Although I just done none of it. I just go on about my day.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's true. That's I guess that's how you have to handle it, and at the end of the day, it's like it is what it is. So you got to do what you got to do. You got to move on. But how many episodes do you have in like the chamber so far?
Alright, so for the Lonely Show, I have 2 weeks worth of episodes in the lineup. And this is very convenient too, because I have 1 more week left of episodes left before the finale, and then it's a 1 week break from uploading Alone Show episodes, and then after that, it's back to uploading. So I might have a chance, but again, I don't have much guests in the lineup just yet. So yeah, let's see what happens.
Gotcha. Okay. And what are your plan? What do you what would want to do for the finale?
Well, I want to bring back someone after a while and see how things have changed.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I kind of want to hear. Not gonna lie. I kind of want to hear like the conversation between him and Risk. I kind of want to hear it. Not gonna lie. If we talk about you know,
Yeah, like,
I think that'd be very interesting.
yes, absolutely.
So okay, yeah. If you can get him, man, I'll be here for the episode for the most part.
Cool.
Hey, but hey, I wonder how he's doing too, man. I mean, it's definitely been a while.
Yeah, of course. YouTube stuff is doing pretty good.
I remember the last time we were talking about how Kanye was cloned.
Yes.
All right, and I can admit right now, okay, maybe that was that was reaching a bit. We don't even know if he was cloned, but hey, it's
We're
definitely
just asking questions.
it's definitely it's definitely something interesting to like talk about though. So I mean, we don't even know if he was cloned.
Yeah, we're just asking questions. We're not saying it's true. It's just, how is this the case? Could it be true? We don't know. We're still asking questions.
But hey, man, I just hope he's okay. I just hope he's okay. That's for the most part. But
Yeah.
it is what it is at the end of the day. But hey, is there any news regarding Bite?
Well, nothing yet other than, oh yes, actually, this is this is a different podcast we did last time. So this is the Opinionistics, and last few episodes was the Alone Show. So for opinionistic listeners that haven't realized, this is a project that we're doing to revive the defunct app that most people vaguely remember. It was made by the same guy that made Fine, and well, what happened with the original Byte? There was money issues from the start, and once it came crawling in, it had to be sold off to another organization that will provide fundings to keep the community going, only for it to be rebranded as their own. And them two themselves also ran into money problems, and they announced that we're going to be part of a big creator family, which is web-based, and
Which never happened.
yeah, we have. Well, actually, we never heard from them ever since. So I don't know. I'm not sure, to be honest.
The point is, it's like there was promises that couldn't be met. Which, look, I'm not even mad at them about it. I mean, like I get it. I mean, but at the same time, it's like I don't know. You could at least let people know that you cannot meet those promises slash expectations. That's the least you could. That's the. I mean, but hey, wow, the Hollows page is still up. Wow.
Yeah, they just left it there because another thing I realized, and this is purely speculative, and even though there is proof, not many people would fully be on board with it. They've ever since the Clash team actually bought Byte, they use this as an opportunity that what happens after they depart from Clash, or now Huddles they rebrand it as, they could go on to do different jobs in the California state or whatever tech job wherever in the US, and seeing what they've done in the past, presumably, it's a good way to build resume and your CV to say, hey, this is what I've worked on, and this is what I did, and it went pretty well, and yeah, that's pretty much the end of it. And the thing is, not many people that are hiring people would bat an eye to even look at even one of the projects that they have worked on. And that's an issue, because if there's not deeper looks into each of the projects that applicants have been working on, then how can you be sure that whoever you're hiring is a good enough fit for the position that you want to give this person?
Exactly. Exactly. I 100% agree. It's like, how are you really supposed to know if that person is a good fit for like the position you're trying to, hire them for? I mean, are you just hiring them because they're your friends or like what is it?
Yeah, and even if they do look into it and they see what other people have been saying about this person, if it's mostly bad, then it's gonna cause some issues and probably prevent you getting the job at all.
Yeah, exactly. I 100% agree. And for the most part, it's like you just should. I would say if you're gonna hire, I would say if you're gonna hire friends, that's cool. But like you put them in a job where you know that they will thrive in, not just a random job.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like for instance, like if I were to hire one of my friends, I would like specifically like think about what job or even brainstorm with them what job could they possibly do that'll work that'll like work for them, not only them but for me as well, and like benefit both them and me. And yes, like for the most part, I wouldn't put them in a job that they're inexperienced in. Maybe like if maybe like if they get some experience, if they learn about whatever job, whatever other jobs that I have, and they're able to like pick it up, then like fine, okay, I'll consider them for the job. But ultimately speaking, it's like you can't just you shoot yourself in the foot by putting your friends in a job that they're inexperienced at, knowing that that is also an important job to have.
Yes, exactly.
So it's like for the most part, I'd say like you got to prepare for you got to prepare for like everything, and like hire people who are fit for whatever job you that is listed.
Yes, it's very important. It may look like a joke, the job market right now. However, over time, when people start to realize the cracks, the errors, and the slip-ups, it will get competitive again, and there will have to be ways to stand out in the best way possible.
Yeah, no, that's true, and you're very correct on that. That is more than true. And for the most part, all you can really do is just hope for the best for anybody. Yeah, just like yeah, because the job market will get competitive again. You just can't show any cracks, and if there are some cracks, they have to easily be fixed, like
Yeah,
fixable. I mean, if I were to say like that. But for the most part, yeah, it's like definitely. As for also like Byte, definitely looking forward to like reviving the app and getting people like the loyal people on board, and also like some new people who want to join this journey in this project that I'm hoping like it can last for years on end.
absolutely.
Yeah, because like it took. Hey, don't get me wrong, it took us a while. It took us a while to get up, but hey, we're getting somewhere, and hopefully, I'm not gonna guarantee anything. Hopefully, by by like the end of the year, hopefully we'll have something. But if we don't, then maybe it'll be somewhere next year or the year after that. But the point is like it's a very slow process, but like we're still working out some things.
Yes.
But yeah, what else is in the news?
Well, this is a big one, and of course, couldn't have come at a better time because I thought, when will it end? And yeah, it finally ended. And looking at the comments of that video, wow, I never felt so good to be fully aware of this before it was too late.
What's the news?
Okay, the news is, uh, Ricardo Avocado has shown that he has lost 270 pounds.
Wow, that is very impressive. I'm not gonna lie. Personally, I'm gonna be honest. I don't care about the guy. I don't watch the guy. But hey, the very fact that he lost that weight, man, hey, it's very commendable, and I'm hoping it inspires a bunch of like men and women and children and everyone of all ages to lose weight. Because hey, man, like that's pretty good to hear. Once
Yeah,
I personally don't care for the guy. I mean, I know he's not a bad guy, but I just don't care for the guy.
yeah, I'd say the same. Although I have paid attention occasionally, and especially this one video. He said, I can't remember the exact words, but he said something along the lines of that this is a social experiment. I'm always 2 steps ahead. So that's at least roughly I got. And after hearing that, I was like, you know what? He might be actually onto something. Because looking at where he was at the state he was at before, I had to ask, how? And why? How is that the case, and why would he do it? After hearing that video, at the state he was at previously, it makes a lot of sense. And I definitely get what he's doing. But I didn't know, I wasn't paying attention too much on that aspect. I was only looking at some of the comments as well as the video to get an understanding of how he went. I still kept in my mind that Nick Avocado was trying to test to see how people react to the things that he's doing, and looking at the comments, wow, they just don't listen. They never get it. And then the moment he announced he lost all of that weight in however amount of time, again, people just switched. They say, oh my gosh, it's so proud. And like, nah, you're the reason that he was doing that experiment to begin with. You're the test subjects. I knew it. And man, you fell for it. You fell for his trap.
Hey man,
Man,
those are the
it's just
same.
funny.
Those are the same people insulting him, saying, "Oh, I'm proud of you." And hey, I'll be honest. It's good that he did lose all that weight, bro. He was unhealthy. I mean, it's one thing. It's one thing to like be a little fat man, but it's like not obese.
Yeah, he was obese.
Yeah, he was extremely.
Avocado was obese.
Yep, and now he's slim, kind of. But it's good enough when he was last time.
Yeah, definitely. But hey, man, proud of him. Don't care for the guy, but wish him the best. I'm only saying I don't care for him because I don't watch him nor know him personally, so
Neither do I.
I can't really care for a person who I don't know, but I wish him the best. But I heard something. I definitely heard something from Kamala. She was talking about coffee, and it was a clip where she was talking about coffee and like the lipstick getting stuck to the coffee thing, and I'm like, does she sounds more like a talk show host slash podcaster than an actual president. Maybe she should change professions. Like for specifically
with Trump or her. Which one
specifically
actually looks like he's fit for?
It's like, yeah, she specifically sounded like a talk show host for single women.
She's effectively the weak version of Ellen DeGeneres. without the fucking with the weird. The only difference is that she's not gay.
True.
And she doesn't have the hairstyle.
True. Essentially. That's the only difference. Is like she sounded like more of a talk show host than an actual president.
It's not. She'll never be a president. She fucking God help America if she gets elected. If she gets elected, Eric, then we best believe that they fucking rigged it. Best fucking believe.
I don't believe. I'm not gonna lie. I don't believe. I'm hoping she doesn't win. Personally, I don't know. I don't really like any of the candidates, but I think Trump has a better chance of winning.
I think if I had to pick one, I would pick Trump. It's a rock in a hard place, right? Yeah, at this point in time, I feel like Trump is the only president, or the only person that is running that might actually be able to actually have some reason and might actually be able to stop this war in Ukraine and bring peace. Because best believe, if Kamala gets elected, we're stone cold. The West is stone cold marching to World War III. Because Kamala will fucking usher us into that. God knows why.
Yeah, I mean, hey man, it's once again, it's not even because she's a woman, bro. I mean,
it's because she's that fucking incompetent.
Yep.
They'll say, "Oh, but you don't like she's a woman." No, because I don't think she's that competent.
Yeah, I've seen
videos of her. She's not that smart.
Yeah, I've seen and heard. I've seen and heard many.
They said to me, she's self-made. She's not self-made. She's sucked fucking cock to get big. She sucked. What was it? This lawyer guy or something. This judge.
Also, yo, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I heard that there was a guy who came out and said that she sexually harassed him a while back.
Would surprise me.
And she said, "Give me that Willie Brown." I'm like, what?
I think that was the guy she was sexually harassing. That's the guy that she was supposedly rose to the fame.
That she was she was actually sleeping with a guy named Willie Brown, because I looked up Willie Brown. I'm like,
that's actually a guy. Yes, that is a name.
She said, "Give me that.
I felt
Give me
sorry
that."
for the lad,
God, that
actually.
fucking theory. That guy must have gotten bullied in high school.
She said,
With that
"Give
last name, fuck.
Willie
You must
Brown."
see it.
And he's
She also supposedly bought.
between Willie Brown and someone else.
Oh well, wouldn't surprise me.
Dang.
She's also been stealing Trump's lines. Did you hear that Trump's apparently going to be making it so people can buy houses?
Nice. I mean, that's good.
Supposedly he's going to make it a lot cheaper to buy houses. He's going to deregulate a couple shit. Basically, I think deregulate, make it a little bit easier to get houses to be built, and I think he's going to also force these guys, limit certain people who buys them. Personally, I think someone needs to regulate them. I think he's also probably going to put in some legislation that's going to help people like have more children and that, because I'm pretty sure he swore that he was going to basically help support people with on IMF, infertility drugs and all that stuff, help people get with kids.
Hey man, that's good, man. We need more children.
Yeah, the guy's supposedly going to. Yeah, he's supposedly they're planning on doing a government review on every government agency, government entity. How much would I bet that's not going to they're not going to look anything into the Federal Reserve or Fort Knox. I personally would love to see someone do a freaking. Yeah, I would like someone to do a forensic analysis of Fort Knox and the Federal Reserve. I would like someone to do like a freaking I would like someone to do a check. I would like someone to take a look at their financial records. I can guarantee there's fraud there. I'd also like to see someone take a look at. I wonder, am I the only one that thinks that literally maybe if Trump gets elected, maybe we might actually find out where the fuck that money went from the Pentagon that was missing, and then they bombed the Twin Towers because there was $2 million that supposedly went missing. This guy reported it, right? The office that reported it got bombed in the Twin Towers attack, and then surprisingly, nobody talked about it again.
Of course, no one talked about it.
Yeah, of course.
Are you really surprised?
No, not really. Supposedly, I think they backed off on the whole like aggression with Russia for a bit. Yeah, can someone explain to me what's supposedly going on with like the influencers and that, and then the Democrats supposedly blame it, saying that certain political people and certain YouTubers have been peddling Russian. Supposedly, people that have been supporting Trump have supposedly been peddling Russian information and that, misinformation or something like that. I think that's just a scourge. I think that's just an excuse to go after these people.
It is. It sounds like an excuse.
Supposedly there was RT company or something like that. Like supposedly Tim Pool and all these big influencers have been taking £100,000 a week or something like that, or a month. Basically, to me, again, what's the difference? So what? Who cares? At the end of the freaking day, Israel practically controls the U.S. Congress. I'm sorry, I must talk to my APAC guy about this. I'll tell him to tone down the ad. And that was Thomas Massey, if I remember correctly, exposing that shit. I think there's only a few people in your government that actually have some integrity. I think a lot of them have probably been taken over by APAC.
You think? You think so?
Yeah, I think there's some. I don't think all of them. I think there's very few people. I think Matt Gaetz might be one of them. Lauren Boebert might not be one. You think there's probably a couple people, but there's not a lot. The Uni Party's strong. So what's happening next? So what else is going on? Boulder?
Yeah, maybe there.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Cool.
Oh yeah. What's happening next in the news?
I saw a photo on Facebook, apparently. Is that photo? Unattended children will be given a Red Bull and taught how to swear.
I heard something on the newspapers that apparently if Trump gets in, he's going to reveal stuff about the little green men. And yeah, it was this news cycle by the Daily Star, or one of these big left-wing newspapers. I think they were making a dig at Trump, but it wasn't really a dig. It was kind of, you could tell it was run by liberals. This nutcase, they basically said he was a nutcase. When he's not a nutcase, he's self-aware. He understands the corruption. He understands the military-industrial complex. He understands the big pharma. He understands these people. He understands who's running the fucking show. It's just, is he willing to fucking go against these people because they're that much powerful, and his family is married into those people? So it makes you question we would go against.
Imagine being married into higher powers, bro. That
I
must be
mean, married into the Jews, it's definitely for sure.
that must be a love.
And they always try and Did you hear about the people trying? Did you hear about the Tucker Carlson documentary interview? Right, the one where they basically made talked about Winston Churchill, right, and made the case that he was the bad guy in World War II because effectively he bombed innocent. He was supposedly the evil person in World War II. He's the one he was that fucking war hungry for war. He effectively, Britain at that point, near the war, they were basically done, right? So they basically were carpet bombing Berlin about 7 times. And there's in this speech, if this guy fucking bombs us one more time, I'm going to fucking retaliate for some reason.
Wow.
I think I think the goal is he wanted Hitler to retaliate so they could use it as propaganda for later on once all this war is done.
Hey, you know what's
Also, they say about war, but they say about, America, Germany had concentration camps. So did Britain and Russia. You don't think some of those concentration camps, they might have just mislabeled them and said, oh, these are German concentration camps, not Britain and Russian concentration camps.
also? I'm not gonna lie.
Remember, Russia owned a Pacific part of Russia.
Also,
And a lot of the fucking concentration camps were in Poland, right?
right.
Remember, Russia owned a Pacific part of Poland.
Also specifically, someone brought to my attention that, like, on the History Channel, whenever they show Hitler's speeches, they don't have any subtitles for him.
Of course. Because it's the German people. Because his speeches, he talks about things, he talks about if there's a soul stands, he basically talks about the Jewish question. Why should we let people of a foreign land control our governments? Why should we let them control the most powerful bits of our government? I want the German people to be the leaders of our government. I view these people as a foreign substance. I don't hate them. He even said he doesn't hate them.
That's definitely
He
something.
never hate them. He realized, why are you in our country? Why are you trying to take us over? It's like the question that we've got today, right? These people are coming into our country. They're slowly taking over. Yeah, these people were already in government. They own at least 90 to 80% of the government positions, right?
Yikes.
All Jews in the Weimar Republic. Same with the Bolsheviks. 90% of them were Jews. Next to none of them were Russians. Don't you think it's a little bit weird? Why are the Jews running all of the government? Well, the Russian people don't have a fucking say in their own government. This is the country of Russia, right? Or the kingdom of Russia. Why the fuck?
I guess so.
Yeah, why the hell is there Jews running the show when it's supposed to be a Russian country? At that point, why not change it to the freaking to Jerusalem 2.0? Thing is, though, we don't need to realize, right? The reason, right, a couple of weeks after, or a couple of weeks after Hitler took over the Rothschild Bank in Austria and kicked those people out, and even held a Rothschild hostage for ransom. Nobody talks about this, but he held a Rothschild for ransom.
Golly.
The guy's a legend. Like, he held one of these people for ransom. He held one of the scourge of the earth for ransom. And then a couple of weeks later, the Jews lobbied to freaking go to war with him. And then they bring their puppet governments. Britain, Canada, Australia, France, Poland, the rest of them. And Russia. And I suppose you could say China as well.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Hey, Riz.
China was funded by, the Mao Zedong was funded by the Jews, or funded by them. Bolsheviks were effectively Jews in themselves, a different type of Jew, though.
True that.
Not a different type, but I mean, like, they were a different sect. They effectively, they had opposing ideologies to the Western Jews. Yeah, they penalized one country. He took a country that was fucking bankrupt and destitute, on the verge of freaking collapse, and made them a modern behemoth, all by getting out of usury. In the Bible, it says it's illegal for usury to happen.
Wait, what'd you say? You said a usury?
Jury.
Oh, Jew. Okay, gotcha.
So it's basically the loaning of money.
Oh,
What
gotcha.
usury?
Oh,
Basically, yeah, it was banned. Supposedly banned. It was banned in the Bible. Supposedly, one should not trade currency or loan out money. But
gotcha.
surprisingly, they do to
Amen.
other Jews. Supposedly, you should not loan out other money to other Jews.
I'm not.
Even though
I'm
I'm
not.
pretty sure that still happens to other
I'm not
Jews.
gonna lie. There are certain Jewish people who I consider real Jews, and there are certain Jewish people who I don't consider real Jews. They just most
So
of
which
them,
ones do you consider the real Jews?
the ones that contradict themselves, the ones that contradict their faith, and the ones that
You
pretty
mean
much, yeah,
the ones that are effectively standing up for Palestine?
yeah. I would say like
The ones that
the
stand up for Palestine, the ones that are effectively talking about the corruption
yeah.
in
I would say
Israel.
I would say the
And so
faith.
there's a bunch of Orthodox Jews, right? But
What happened?
Would you say Ben Shapiro's a Zionist?
Well, I would say yeah.
He says he's an Orthodox Jew, but to be honest with you, he kind of sounds like a Zionist. The way he sounds, the way he wasn't even willing to open up, even have a debate with Kamala Harris and that. Same with that Shmuley guy
Oh yeah,
and the
Rabbi
rabbi.
Shmuel.
I don't think rabbis should own the porn beep in porn.
Oh yeah, Rabbi Shmuley.
Yeah, the guy that owns porn, that owns the lube in the porn hub. Or the
Yeah,
porn businesses.
I would say like the fake Jewish people are the ones who do evil.
There's a scientist, I think it was John Hopkins or something like that, university, right? There was a study done about like the ethnicity of the people that live in Israel, right?
Right.
90% of the Jews that live there, they have no descent, no actual correlation, no relation to any of these people that actually live in those lands, and effectively have fuck all claim to it.
Huh.
Well, the Palestinians have been living there for thousands of years. They have tradition, and they supposedly have a claim to it.
They have a wait. They have a claim to like Israel. You said the people in Palestine.
No, well, basically, yeah, because none of these people that actually live in Israel right now, right? None of them have a fucking real claim to it,
God,
right? None of them actually came from that place. None of them have any blood that has any resemblance to any of those people that came there. If anything, they're converts. They're people that freaking converted to Judaism. Doesn't
Or
mean they actually have a claim to Jerusalem.
got you. So
They're
okay.
a
So
bunch of fakes. They're a bunch. All if anything, I think the sad point is, all the real Jews, right? If
right.
whatever's left of them, I think they all got murdered in World War II,
That is.
and I think there was a big plan, right?
I say
Let's
they're
murder all the real Jews so we can disguise ourselves as fake Jews, and then nobody will be able to criticize us. The funny
Yeah.
thing is, though, they didn't expect that maybe there'd be some actual normal Jews that would actually escape to London or escape to Britain after First World War and just denounce themselves out of fear of denounce their heritage or their religion simply just so they can freaking save themselves and their families. They don't talk about it, but there's a lot of Jews in America that denounced.
Judaism, or just being
Yes,
Jewish.
denounced Judaism in a certain aspect to the point to keep themselves safe,
I mean, hey, man.
including most families in
I mean,
Scotland. There's a lot more Jewish people in Scotland than you think.
I mean,
Including me, for example, even though I have no tradition to it, and I don't think my grandparents have any tradition to it.
yeah. Although,
But
although it's, although
my
it's in
great
your blood.
great grandparent was one, but
Yeah. Although it's in your blood, it's like you don't consider yourself one.
no, I don't consider myself one. I left that, as far as I'm aware, my family left that a long time ago.
Yeah, because it's like, yeah,
Probably for good reasons, because let's be real here, like, it's not a good example to have, the fact that literally you probably want to be the bane of the earth, because you scam people.
hey, man. Hitler was a Jew, but he wasn't even a Jew.
He wasn't a Jew, yeah?
Yeah.
Again, there's people, you make it sound like about Genghis Goering and Goebbels. They were Jews as well. But they
Yeah.
were anti-Zionist.
pretty much.
These guys took an anti-Zionist stance. They were against. He thinks the fact they say, there are Jews that joined Hitler. There were people. Hitler basically said to them, take a stand. You're Jews. You're either with us or you're against us.
So I would say Hitler among those guys are pretty much the real ones.
Well, not the real ones, but
Okay, maybe
as
not the
much as
real.
you can claim, right? They took a stand. Like he didn't. He for a certain select few people at the start, right? You had the option: are you with us or are you against us? Certain of them said, "No, we're not with you," and then they declared war. There was an option, right? If you look at it, right, for years, right, he was deporting these people to Jerusalem, right? I
Right.
think he even stated like this, right? I think it even stated something similar to what we had, right? What we're saying, right? If you want to be part of Germany, fine. but you're going to have to conform to our ideal. You're going to have to conform to this country. You're going to have to speak German, and you're going to have to learn our way of life. If you're not willing to do that, then fuck off back to your own country.
That's fair. That's fair too.
That's fair. I'm pretty sure. It's not. It's blatantly, obviously gave them the option, right?
Yeah,
the war didn't start. When did World War II start? Right. I'm not saying officially, but a couple of years before. I think 10 years before. Right. He was basically saying, "Look, guys, I don't want to have. I'm slowly trying to get you people out of my country. I'm going to help support you guys move over to freaking move you guys over to Jerusalem or Israel. The fact is that they were fine. We're okay with it, but you got to give us some starting capital to lead with."
Hey,
and they said, "No thanks. I've seen what you've done with it. You used this same excuse to fucking conquer Spain. You wanted starting capital to escape Spain, and then you just rebuilt."
He gave them an option, though.
Gave them an option. He said, "Look, move to Jerusalem, or you're either with us. You move to Jerusalem, or you join, become German." But the mainstream media is never going to tell you that. But he did I'm pretty sure he did give him options. You either become a German, never become a Russian, or you move to Jerusalem. Take this, right? For example, right? They said, but they have no care for the poor German person, but they stand belligerent and say, you have to take every single Jew. I'm pretty sure he said this years ago as well. Like, you're so cold-hearted and obstinate when it comes to the poor Jewish man, but you care fuck all for you're a bleeding heart for the Jews, but you don't give a fuck about the Germans, effectively. I do not take your insults, nor do I care what the West says.
Hey man, it is
He
what
basically said they're hypocrites. Like, look, you want us to take all these people, but you don't want to take these people. So how bad if you don't want to take them, they must be bad, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
you don't want to take them into your country. We don't have room for them, right? Yeah, we're supposed to take them in by the third kilometer.
Must have been that bad.
Must have been bad.
I mean, hey, the very fact that they didn't want to take them, so
they didn't want to take them. Yeah, supposedly America, the one that basically made their new homeland for them. They didn't want to take the Jews. I thought they would have loved the new population back then. Apparently not.
But hey, man, that tells you a lot, though. It really does.
Yeah, if you don't want to freaking take them, then it must be bad.
Yeah, but hey,
It ended up. So when do you think World War III is going to get confirmed? Things are going to get bad.
Like, they actually tell us that World War III is going to come.
It's obvious we are.
But the thing is, when will I say publicly that we're in World War III?
We're in World War III. Hide your kids.
The funny thing is, though, are they going to freaking use nukes?
That's a good question.
I think Putin is obstinate. I don't think he really wants to use nukes. Right? Even if the Ukraine war ends, right, America's just going to jump in and start a war, right? And Trump doesn't get in. Even if Trump gets in, I still don't think he really wants to go to war, because I don't think America
isn't built or fit or ready.
America isn't built for war, and they're not built for war, and they're not going to fucking last.
We're definitely not ready.
It's been fucking proven for decades, right? Yes, they do conflict, right? They piss about, they kill a bunch of people, Afghans, right? But they haven't got the fucking. China knows they haven't got the balls for a fucking long drawn out conflict. And Britain knows they haven't got the balls for a long drawn conflict. Like, heck, they spent 10 years in Afghanistan, and what the fuck did they gain from it? Apart from spending trillions and giving power back to the Taliban 5 or 6 months later.
I mean, hey, man, I'll say this, man.
I will say, I do think that if there is going to be a major battle, I do think it'll be in the UK.
Or at least parts of it will be in the UK. There'll be other parts around the world, because
I think
it's
major
a world
parts
war,
of it will be in England.
Okay.
Specifically the Muslim areas. We all know that what's coming here in the UK, right? Where we're effectively we're going to have to fight a civil war against the Muslims trying to usurp and take our country. And I mean, they're going to overthrow the government. It's clear as day. Like, why the fuck would it be important that men that's that age, right? At military fighting age with no wives?
You said what?
Why the fuck would you be importing military age men with no wives or children? At the age of 20 years old, right? And letting them stay on military bases. Tell me that's not them not planning a secret coup. The funny thing is, those people that are sneaking into this country, right? They're UN peacekeepers getting ready to strike. So where do you think the first battle will be? And who do you think will be which side?
Well, I think we all know the gist by now. We all know which allies are close together, like US, UK. That's an easy one.
US, UK.
And then there's the opposite side. Russia's one of them.
Then you've got France. France is going to side with Britain. Britain and France have been good for years. We've got Germany. Ironically, Germany will be on the side of the good on the Allies this time.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But then that begs the question: how will this go? How will it go down?
I think we already know they're going to try and push into Russia, right? But they won't win. They'll lose.
And also, whatever the answer is, they're not going to like it. Most people won't like the answer.
They're not going to win against Russia, right? Russia's not a dumb. No, Russia. Are these people deluded? Russia's not a third tier power. They're not a Turkey. They're not Iran. They're not like a fucking Germany. They're a tier 5 tier power. They have nukes. Why the fuck would you fight someone with nukes? God's nukes.
Maybe it's planned, maybe it's staged. Who knows, man? I mean, hey.
Maybe it is staged. Also, here's the question, right? Trump also said he's going to reveal information about aliens, right? Project Bluebeam.
Right.
What if they secretly come up with the idea? What if they realize the war plan's not working? So what if we usher in Project Bluebeam, right? What if we reveal to the public that there's aliens, right? And there's a threat of an alien invasion. They use virtual reality and AI and augmented reality to make it seem like it's an actual alien attack, right? And the guys they unite the world under this massive threat, right? We all have to unite the government into one country to save each other, right? To save ourselves.
Here's the thing, bro. If there's aliens, bro, they can't even break the firmament that is covering the earth, bro. They can't even break the firmament. I can't even believe that there's aliens. It used to be cool to believe that, but I can't even believe it anymore. Because if they can't even really go into space, nor break.
I also have the question: will they try and fake the revelations in the Bible simply just to try and take control of the world that way as well? They might be wanting to mess with religion.
I feel like the true believers will know if it's fake or not, and
Yeah, I think they would as well.
Obviously, like the people who do believe but listen to the media will fall for it.
Yes. I wonder who will play Jesus Christ in real life.
What happened?
Keanu Reeves, maybe?
What'd you say?
I wonder who's going to play him in the real life movie. Jesus Christ. I think it'll be fun. Nah. Keanu Reeves is not the guy.
Yo, Risk, are you gonna try to join the season finale?
When's the season finale?
Jame, you there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
You said when's the season finale?
Yeah.
Jame.
Yes.
When is the season finale? When is the season finale again?
Season finale what?
Your podcast or something?
Oh yeah, the Alone Show. It's coming. All right, so after this weekend, as of this recording, it'll be this Friday, or at least this Friday has to be the day that has to be uploaded. So it has to be at the latest this Thursday or Wednesday.
Gotcha.
Okay, should be able to do it. Okay, so how many years is it since you've done that podcast? Right.
So for both the Alone Show and the Opinionistics, it's been over 2 years.
That's a big milestone. How many episodes?
Yeah.
How many seasons?
So the Alone Show has over 300 episodes, whilst the Opinionistics has over 100.
Still a big podcast.
Yes. In fact, both podcasts have been going a lot longer than the average podcast. The average podcast, one of my guests told me that it only lasts like 2-3 weeks. So it's still going strong 2 years later.
Wow.
The average podcast only lasts 2-3 weeks.
Exactly, yeah.
Me and Eric bet that then, because I did Team Sketch for at least 2 years or something like that. I did it for 2 years. I think I did my one in 2020 or something like that, or 2018.
I think I did mine for like a year, then stopped.
Yeah, it wasn't
getting still better than most podcasts in longevity.
And
it just didn't seem like it was growing. I just thought, what's the point in putting someone in that's not growing?
Yo, I remember when we were fighting over the Team Sketch name.
Yeah, it was so hilarious, man. It was a waste of time. But at least we had our fun. We were young. Podcasters were fun.
Yeah. Speaking of which, how is Faith? What is she doing?
Working. I still don't get why the fuck she would vote for Kamala, but heck.
Because Kamala will save our country.
Will she? Fuck. She'll put us into communism. She already wants to take the Second Amendment, right? And she wants to go after the First Amendment.
That's true.
I'm
I
sorry,
think
to
she
say,
also said
you're
she wanted to
a
ban X.
communist.
I think.
She wants to, but yes.
I think.
If
I
Kamala gets in, X could be gone, right? And that'll be very bad for America. Very bad.
it would.
You would be limited to what you actually see, and you wouldn't actually be able to get the truth out on what you actually on how things are going on, right, and what's really going on in the world.
Yeah.
Right? They're already trying to ban TikTok, right? Because TikTok's revealing too much shit about their corruption.
Yeah, and I'll say this as well, man. It's like you wouldn't be able to really say anything on Twitter. On Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, you wouldn't be able to.
To a certain extent, you can't. Some of my tweets, right, every so often, right, it pretends that it hasn't went in, right, but that doesn't go out, right, and then it goes out, right. I think that's a ticket sealings. I think that's a little thing, a little glimpse to tell you it's ghosted them. It's ghosted the tweet. It's made it non-existent. It's not going to show up in search.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I said
So every time, I tweet something maybe a little bit controversial, maybe it might twist some heads, I get the thing, oh, it didn't upload, and then it uploads, right?
yeah,
They've also been starting to silence me on Discord voices, right? Voice chats, right? I've been trying to say, I said a couple things, right, to you guys, right? And it just wasn't sent. Just wouldn't send. It just wouldn't send. Right?
Yeah.
So I just gave up certain
dang.
things on my voice, right? I couldn't say anything because it would just give it up. Why do you think they're limiting that? Is it because they're scared of things that we can say? Or is it because they're scared of our opinions? Or is it scared that we'll reveal too many stuff that'll fuck
Well,
things
what
up?
do you think, Risk?
I think
After
it's
all the
all of the
years
above,
we've been talking
Jamie.
about
I think it's
how
all of the above.
well,
Scared
in
people
fact,
about
there have been times. Actually, one time we recorded episode Risk. The recording just suddenly ended when you mentioned Gaddafi. Remember?
Gaddafi.
Yes, exactly.
Conversation about
Yeah, you were speaking about Gaddafi, and then
Colonel Gaddafi.
episode suddenly just stopped. I don't know how. It just ended.
Yeah, Gaddafi. Right.
Yes.
Gaddafi effectively Gaddafi wanted to unionize, make Africa one country. Right. Gaddafi wanted to create a currency backed on all of Africa's resources. And France, Germany, America, Japan, Russia, all the major countries, right, that are in power, they went after Gaddafi. They had that guy offed because he was a threat to them. They were scared about the dramatic power a guy like Gaddafi had, right? Because Libya under him wasn't in debt. And they were scared what he could do to Africa, what he could make Africa become. He could create a United States of Africa. He could create a nation where all the great resources of Africa, are not being going to the Western countries, but going to build Africa's GDP. And they were scared. Did it start to flicker off there?
Maybe. Not sure, but hey.
Gaddafi. They always go after guys like him. But they also went after RFK, right?
Yeah, they did.
They went after him, right? They went after RFK, right? Robert F. Kennedy. Or Jr., right?
Sorry, JFK?
Yeah, they went after him as well. They assassinated the bloke.
Yeah.
CIA assassinated him, or it was under someone else.
Or, are you talking about, RFK Jr., specifically?
Most of the Kennedy family in general, they tried to stop these people, right? Go after these people, right? And then they got offed. JFK got offed.
Robert F. Kennedy Sr. got offed.
Yes, he was running for government as well. He wanted to change things as well, and he got offed. He wanted to scatter the CIA. And a couple of months later, he's offed. He was wanting to look into the nuclear. He wanted to make them. He was looking into the freaking nuclear secrets that Maxwell gave to freaking Israel. Supposedly, the Maxwell family, they helped squander freaking military nuclear weapon secrets to supposedly to give to Israel, to help them create nuclear weapons. Who the hell do you think gave them uranium to create nuclear weapons? Who do you think gave Pakistan uranium to create nuclear weapons? Because sure as hell wasn't it. So
Yeah.
why is there so many countries with nuclear weapons?
What do we need nuclear weapons for?
Nuclear weapons were as an ultimate defense.
Yeah, it's just some bargaining chip. Like, if you don't do this, we're gonna use our nukes on you. Like, even though they won't use it, because if they did use it, who knows
Mutually
how much of
assured
society could be
destruction.
wiped?
Mutually assured
There's
destruction.
no way they could do that.
It's how they keep people in check.
A whole race could
Also,
be.
you got to think about it, right? Who's on the freaking permanent UN Security Council, right? They all have nukes. China, Russia, America, UK, France, all have nukes.
They have the bargaining chips, and that is scary. Even though they won't use them, it's still scary to think about.
Stalin didn't even believe that America even had nukes until he actually saw it in real life. He was skeptical. He thought it was American propaganda. Was Vladimir Lenin a bad guy?
That's a kind of a grey area for me. Because I'm not sure. I'm generally not sure what to think of it. I don't have much knowledge on it, so there isn't much I can say or think of.
But if it wasn't under Stalin, I think that Soviet communism in general, because of Joseph Stalin, right, was put into a different path, right? If it was under I think it was the other guy, right, that I think Lenin actually really wanted to become his successor, right? I think it would have been a little bit different. So who do you think, what is America?
Well, America, the United States, is a very large country with a very large military and a lot of states,
It's
which
not a country.
it's a vassal state.
No.
It's just
Look
corporation.
back to the state of it. Look to America, or is what we call the United States corporation, consists of a bunch of other tinier corporations that decide to merge into one big corporation. When you think of the state of Virginia, you should think of the corporation of Virginia. When you think of the corporation of Louisiana, you should think of the corporation of
The
Louisiana.
United States is just one big company.
Yes, mergers and acquisitions.
Yeah, I think a lot of countries around the world are just companies.
Yes, every
in their own
country is
right.
like that. Every country is like that. Merger and acquisitions, mergers. So yeah. So think about it. So think about Canada, right? The Canadian corporation. So effectively, right. Half of Canada's land, right, was owned by a corporation, right?
Yeah, at some
I'm
point.
talking about the Nuit territory, the one with the ice that gives you next to the freaking
Yes.
covered in ice.
The Arctic Circle, close to.
Yes. When you think about it, America is a corporation. And when I can't remember where it was, but I think I had it. I think I had a picture of something. Right, I'll send it in the Discord.
All right.
I'm gonna figure it out. Come on. Committee, Vice Committee, Education. Yeah, I can't remember where it said. It had something about the executive or like executive of Virginia or something like that. Maybe I read the message wrong, but maybe they altered it. Going oversight of the United Department of Agriculture. As the chief executive and the highest ranking officer of the state of Minnesota. Chief executive, what does that come to mind? CEO, executive, high level person of business.
Kind of reminds me of as if you were the president of the United States. Kind of.
Oh yeah, speaking of
No, it reminds me. You're an executive at a company.
Oh yeah, speaking of
Oh
When
yeah,
they basically
that's
say
true.
chief executive officer, remember, chief executive officer or chief financial officer, that is a big term that's used in corporations.
oh yeah,
Yes.
speaking of
So doesn't that explain to the thing, you're a part of a corporation. You are effectively a little district manager of a corporation or a sub-brand of a corporation. So you're a part of a sub-brand of the United States. So the governor of Virginia is effectively the president of the Virginia Corporation, or the state of Virginia, which is effectively the state, which is a sub-brand of the United Federal Government, which is the corporation that runs the entire country.
oh yeah, speaking of presidents, gentlemen, you found Obama's brother.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, I saw a picture of him, right? The guy.
Yeah.
I used to I attended Barack and Michelle's wedding, and he's been lying to the American public. So why the hell are they starting to block security tag blocks of cheese?
Cheese.
Yes, £3, but they're starting to security tag blocks of £3 cheese.
Doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
Supposedly
What does
Tesco
cheese
in
have to
certain
do
areas
with
are
it?
security tagging Cathedral City £4 to £5 bars of blocks of Cathedral City, which is just weird. Why the hell would you block cheese?
I don't
That's
know.
not a time that you're in a rough area. I don't know what is. Why?
Is cheese a valuable asset now?
Supposedly. If you're
I
having
guess.
the security tag cheese, it's because of the illegals. In my time, we don't have the security tag shit because we're common, decent people. We're not robbers. And this is coming from a town that's full of effectively bullish people. We're common sense. They're nice people. Majority, yeah, you might get the fucking odd thing that gets nicked from a supermarket, but not to the point where you need to fucking security tag a block of fucking cheddar. This is the type of shit that happens in cities. Because have you ever went to a supermarket where you've had your cheese security tag?
Until now, I didn't know this was a
That
thing.
can't be good for humanity if you have to security tag a block of freaking cheddar.
Like, how can you use a block of cheese in any form of defense, or what's the value of cheese to begin with?
I think they're just scared because people are nicking it.
Are licking it, you said?
Nicking it.
Nicking it,
Stealing
like
it.
taking.
Oh,
without
nicking.
paying.
Gotcha.
Again, it's £3 to £4 for fuck's sake.
What would you need
You
with
get
cheese?
more
It's
off
not
the
that
fucking
deep.
write down.
What are you trying to do? Make macaroni? Huh?
Are you trying to make freaking a cheese and ham sandwich? Or are you trying to sell it on the black market?
Are you trying to make a grilled cheese? Is a grilled cheese that important?
The funny thing is, though, Eric, in certain states of America, you actually have security back cheese.
Oh, well, I guess I
A
don't.
lot of your shit is literally behind freaking plastic guards now in certain places in America. Specifically,
Oh yeah, no. Oh yeah, right. Well, I mean, the only time I've seen cheese behind behind a plastic thing was at the deli, deli. But that's it because it's like I
a
guess.
lot of stuff, right? I think I saw a video of a supermarket, right, where everything's behind glass, right, and you have to get a freaking employee to fucking unlock it for you.
Huh? I never.
How far are we from having to get Skewrick and Retina scanned out of the Boston supermarket, the normal Kroger, or
Hey, man,
freaking Walmart or Target?
sooner.
We're here, are we that close to getting our Retina scanned out of the supermarket? I feel like the UK wants to push us in that direction, like China, where you can't enter a supermarket without getting your Retina scanned.
Hey, sooner or later, man, they're gonna wanna implant chips in our heads or hands.
Or I suppose, take this right. They've already started implementing the infrastructure, right? What if you need to actually swipe? You need to scan your credit card before you even enter.
Oh, that is
That's
terrible.
what's going to happen next.
That is awful.
We've already got the technology for that.
That is awful.
It is, but it is.
It was what it was.
Yeah, remember the people that are using cash, right? They're slowly dying off.
And yeah, sooner or later, you're gonna have to use your hand or your forehead to pay for stuff.
And you switch to some digital currency.
Mark of the beast.
That is not physical.
It's like physical money is going to be useless in the next couple of years. I give it 5 years. 5 more years.
I want to know when they're going to fucking replace most staff. Nobody's thinking of this, right? But what's going to happen, right, when most of these jobs get made redundant, right? Warehouse jobs get made redundant, right? And the ones that they do have left, right? You think they're actually going to employ the actual native population of America or Britain?
No.
With all the fucking foreigners they're going to do, right? They'll probably be wanting to do it for next to nothing. So all they've got to do is wait until the population die, the old geezers that are in power right now die off, and then slowly but surely, wait until all the jobs get nearly wiped out, and then they swoop in and take the jobs.
Yeah, I'd say as for the
all they've got to do is wait until
as for the foreigners,
while they're waiting, they get to eat, swear, and fuck on our dime.
Hey, the foreigners are definitely gonna get the mark of the beast, bro, because they don't know what's going on.
They're going to. They're not even foreigners. They're fucking UN security people, waiting to fucking cause mischief and kill.
I've heard of many foreign gangs popping up.
They've even admitted, we are going to wait until your population's down, and then we are here to conquer you. They're openly saying it in public.
I didn't even know that.
We are going to usher in Sharia law in your country, they say.
Oh,
We are going to wait until your population's weak, and then we are going to overthrow your government.
Oh yeah, I think you sent the video about that too.
I hear that multiple times. It's stated in Germany, it's stated in Britain, it's stated in America, most likely. And do you really think these leftists wouldn't side with you? Side with them? Like, look, the only way Kamala actually has votes is if she freaking brings the illegals in. You also are not I don't think you guys are accounting for what about the Americans that are living abroad in the UK or living in France or Germany, right? They can still supposedly vote in the election, right?
Right.
Do you think that should be allowed? Because I'm skeptical of that. What's saying that they might not just have a bunch of votes coming from abroad? Let's say, oh, we're voting for Kamala Harris, when that's not further from the truth.
I don't think people with who aren't citizenship should vote.
But what if they are citizens? What if they hold dual citizenship? Like they hold dual citizenship in Israel?
They still
Then
shouldn't
yeah,
vote.
that would be possible.
Yes. I saw an ad for it, Eric, on YouTube. So they must be pushing this to people. Fuck. This country stuff. Supposedly Conor McGregor's running for Irish president of Ireland.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Supposedly he's very religious.
Yeah, I think he's a Catholic. Isn't I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
he's a Catholic. Yeah, he's a Roman Catholic.
Kind of funny because he was taking the piss out of Khabib.
But I heard he was going to he was going to get rid of all the immigrants if if he runs for president.
He'll do what he can. I
Yeah,
can guarantee he'll be hung strong by the parliament.
I don't
If he
think
does get in, right? The thing is, you got to realize is Ireland like the UK, right? Where you can't run for prime minister unless you have a seat, right? And yeah, a party, right? It's really hard, right? In America, right, you don't have one single candidate, right? You have to run as an MP, right?
right.
You have to run as an MP, right? And then you can't it's a little bit harder to become prime minister anything than the UK, right? You're not exactly voting for one guy, right? So effectively, right? So the system is right. Even if you do want to vote for for Donald Trump, right? In the UK, right? Or even let's say I wanted to vote for Nigel Farage, right? I wouldn't exactly be voting for him, right? I'd be voting for my local MP, right? Because and whoever becomes the leader of that party has the most amount of votes wins, right? Whereas in the America, right, if I wanted to vote for Trump, right, where it's between Trump or Kamala, right? It's not the same in the UK, where basically I'm having to vote as an MP, vote for my MP, right, and hope to fucking God my party has enough votes to take the freaking election, right? Whereas I'm not able to vote for an individual person. I have to vote for a freaking party. So I'm not when I vote for my election, I'm not exactly voting for Trump or thingy in that, right? I'm voting for a party for my local MP, and she gets in, then great. But if not, which I think is weird, I think we need to reform I think the
Yo,
UK
guys,
election system needs to be reformed.
Trump's son, Barron Trump, is connecting his father to Gen Z podcaster to boost Gen Z support.
He's doing interviews with Trump. The thing is, though,
That's actually clever.
Yeah, that is smart.
Patrick Bat David should be a good one for him to do. Patrick Bat David would be a good one. I think Andrew doing a podcast with Andrew Tate would probably do extremely well for him. They would get
Yeah,
headlines.
it would, but I don't think he wants to. He would connect himself with Andrew Tate or associate himself with Andrew Tate.
Well, Eric, he's actually had. He went to Tate and the Tates, and effectively their allies, their supporters, right? Their allies, right? Their friends, right? They've actually taken photos with Barron. What was it name? The guy that effectively is one of I think it was Justin Holler or something like that. One of Andrew's friends, right? Took photos with Barron, right? Took a photo with Barron, and I think one with Trump as well. So there's connections, kind of there. Like he could probably, and I'm pretty sure Barron Trump's a fan of Tate as well.
That's possible.
I think there's a very high chance that you could do a podcast with him, right? You've also got other guys, right? You've got Tim Pool. I think you've got Benny Johnson. I think you could get I think Benny Johnson would be an interesting one.
Yo, imagine if his son, a couple years later, he runs for president, bro.
He will. Maybe he might not be the first Trump to run, but I think I can guarantee it when he's 30 or 40, right? If I'm being honest, right? I think we could see Eric or Don Jr. for president.
I think Ivanka would be the most likely next person in the Trump family to run.
I think the way Donald Trump Jr. acts on Twitter, right? I think he potentially might actually be interested in running for office. I think he does. I think a lot of them have. I think the Trumps could have a very big, long political dynasty.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Bigger than the Bushes. I think we could have Trump be president for once, and then I think we could have Don Jr., and a couple of years later, I think we could have Barron Trump. God knows who he'd be running with. I think who knows? Maybe Vivek on Don Jr.'s card or something like that, right?
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah, but Last time, remember, Vivek said he wants to be the president. He does not want to be like be an undercard for another candidate. However,
I said
if
him
allows,
being
then
president. I didn't say him being the VP.
also Vivek the president and
Yeah,
Donald
after
Jr. being the VP.
Don.
Okay.
And then I think, other than that, I think that would give time for Barron. I think Vance is planning on running for president. Yeah, Vance will probably run for. What do you think the chances that JD Vance runs for office? I don't think he's likable though. I don't think he will be. I don't think he'll make it into the presidency, become a president. I don't think he'll become one because I don't think he's likable enough. Personally,
Yeah.
I think he's doomed himself. I think I think people would have preferred RFK Jr. as his freaking running mate.
Yeah, I'll be honest. RFK Jr. should have taken that opportunity. Because I'm pretty sure Trump wanted him as his running mate. I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he did wanted RFK Jr. as his
Well, at
running
least he's
mate.
got him in his government. At least he's got him in his government for him to go after Pfizer and all these cunts.
Okay, that's good enough, I guess. But
You've got him in his department. He's got him in the government.
besides,
I mean, he knew he wasn't going to win, so he surrendered, right?
yeah, I mean, it's like might as well go on for the winning team. So
Might as well go for the winning team, right? And I may as well get myself a new job.
hey, maybe like in another 4 years, maybe. But for now, I think he would have had a better chance.
I don't think RFK would appeal to major Republican voters, though. I don't think they would vote for him. They think he's too liberal for his policies. Republicans wouldn't vote for him. Too liberal. He's definitely not going to get Democrats. He might get independents, but that's not enough vote.
I'll be honest. How many people are independent?
A lot more than you think, Eric. There's a lot of independents that are Republicans that are voting Trump, but other than that, there'd be independent switched to independent.
Got you.
A lot of MAGA is voting for Trump and that, and other than that, they'll wait and see, and they might pick their votes, or change their candidate, right?
Because
there's a lot of people that are backing Vivek, right? And I think he'd be a great president. I personally don't know because he came out of nowhere. It's kind of like Obama came out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. He definitely came out of nowhere.
He supposedly used to run a Democrat convention.
Get your Maha hat before they're sold out. Make America Healthy Again by Robert F. Kennedy.
Make America healthy again.
I'm gonna like
Make
the post.
America great again.
Yeah, they're called Maha hats.
Wisconsin's apparently doing extremely well. Trump's got a massive support in Wisconsin. Wait, this is funny. Wait, they both look like AI.
What do?
Two pictures of Kamala's two little parades, right? One looks like it's AI, one actually looks like it's got voter.
Oh dang, it's raining. Golly. Good thing I'm in the house. But you said what? AI and voters about Kamala Harris?
Yeah, supposedly there's an image that looks terrorist.
You think? I'll be honest. You think did Kamala Harris even really go to college?
I assume she would.
Yeah, most likely.
Why do women vote for Kamala? Oh yes!
What?
Palantir just got admitted into S&P 500. Yes! Index funds the bit away, baby. S&P 500 is what drove Tesla to the fucking moon. And it's only 30, but I bought the stock when it was like $6 a share.
You know, I'm definitely
massive defense contractor.
You know, I'm definitely looking forward to that Trump Kamala debate, man. We know who's gonna win.
Is it actually live or is it actual audiences, or is it just so they can stitch things up?
I don't think there may be audiences at all. It's just going to be the two candidates, the spokespeople, and that's about it.
I'm not gonna lie.
And there are specific rules to this debate as well, so they're going to have to be creative.
If I was Kamala,
Volunteer! If I was Kamala,
are you a fucking terror? Call me.
If I was Kamala, I would get someone to talk for me.
Alex Karp believes the U.S. needs to scrap the First Amendment to target anti-Semitism.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a good move.
Fuck off.
What's a good?
I've heard that someone says get rid of the First Amendment because of anti-Semitism. That's what I've heard.
What is anti-Semitism nowadays?
Anytime you say something that the Jews do not like, effectively. Anytime you criticize them on the things that they've done in Gaza, anytime you criticize them on the things they did to us in World War II, anytime you criticize them when they killed mass amounts of Christians, anytime you criticize them on how they fucking control our governments, every time you criticize them when they fucking own and they basically own AIPAC, you say, why the fuck, you complain at why the fuck do you control AIPAC? You're
Anytime,
an anti-Semite.
anytime you say that specific
Anytime you
group,
criticize them, you're an
anytime you say
anti-Semite.
anytime.
Anytime you criticize them of actually criticize these people for their crimes. Anytime you criticize them, oh, you traffic, you're a Jew and you're a pedophile. Oh, that's anti-Semitism.
Hey, we're not.
Like, even though Epstein was a fucking Jewish honeypot. I mean,
Was Epstein Jewish? Was
yeah,
he just,
most likely. He was a honeypot. He was working with former prime ministers of Israel. Of course he was a fucking Jew. Let's be real here. He was working with former CIA Mossad agent leader. He was working with a freaking former president of Israel. I think it was Eddie Barak or something like that. Something similar to that, right? And then he literally...
I looked at Epstein.
Epstein was effectively a Jewish honeypot
I
for
can't.
pedophiles.
can't-
Basically, so they get blackmail on the richest people in the world so they can control them. And that's the reason why it's never going to get released. The files are never going to get released.
I would say Epstein doesn't even
Trump
look.
says, "Oh, I'm going to release the files on Epstein."
I would say Epstein doesn't. Even,
If you try, you're going to get fucking offed.
I would say Epstein doesn't look Jewish. He just looks Caucasian, and he just happens to work with them.
I think he's Jewish. Like, let's be real here. The Mark Zuckerberg doesn't look Jewish, but he's got blood in him. He was raised by a Jewish family. Just because you don't look Jewish doesn't mean you're not Jewish.
I'll be honest. I think.
It's about what comes
I think
within.
I said. I think
I
I said.
don't exactly look Jewish, but I look Jewish. Sadly, I don't exactly look Jewish, but I am a Jew, kinda.
I
believe in their religion.
I think I said something in a chat a while ago. It was talking about how, like, Judaism was pretty much a club.
It is a club. It's like the Club of Rome.
It's
Okay.
like, yeah, it's like you don't actually have to be of.
So let me explain the word structure to you, gents. Come
Yes.
on, you fucker. You have the world monarch. Who do you think the world monarch is?
The World Economic Forum?
No.
The World Monarch.
Think a royal family.
Royal family, eh?
Rothschilds.
Well, maybe. Who knows?
Yes,
Might
but
have
there's more.
Might have
There's
Rothschild
certainly
blood in
more,
them.
I believe.
What?
There are more, apparently.
There are more what?
There are more world monarchies.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
You have the Crown Council of 13, so basically the 13 soldiers, or the 13 wise men of the council. World's richest, most powerful families. The Committee of 300. Am I the only one that thinks that maybe potentially the Crown Monarch could be, the world monarch could be the British Royal Monarchy, right? No offence, but you see the amount of praise that they got from when Elizabeth died, right?
Yeah, I think that's rather telling about the influence and the...
Yeah, the amount of people that are crying over Elizabeth, right? It gives me the... And it was not just in Britain, it was in Canada, it was in America.
I was quite shocked that a lot of people would know.
You've got to remember, a lot of Freemasons, they swear loyalty to the Queen and the King. Remember, Freemasons is basically a syndicate of British loyalists, effectively. Because remember, the Freemasons were created by the British monarchy. Yeah, the Council of Foreign Relations, right? Who is the main architect of the UN, right?
The only person I can remember... No, wait.
Who was the main country that was trying to wanted to create the UN? I think it was mainly Britain that was pushing the liberal and surprisingly, you know who? Supposedly it was Britain that was funding the vaccine, right?
Which one? Which vaccine?
No, it was Britain that was funding the gain and function research in Wuhan, right?
Yeah.
They made them manipulate it to make it seem like America was the one funding it, right? But it was really Britain. You look
Okay.
deep enough. Remember, Charles also is the British monarchy have also been saying the world there's too many humans in it, right? For years, right? They've been wanting to depopulate the world. Philip's been saying this
Because
for
with less
years.
humans, there's more money to go around for each person.
The Trilateral Commission, the United Nations, the Bilderberg Group, Club of Rome.
Jama, you are right. Asparagus is doing pretty well. Yeah,
What's doing?
You remember Asparagus?
What's he doing there then?
He's still doing his YouTube channel.
What's his channel at now?
I have to check because
I think it's at like 18K subscribers.
Not bad. Did you know that the UK is one of the biggest financial controllers in the world?
Of course I knew that.
Did you know the fact that literally it's mainly not based in the UK?
That I kind of knew that.
Cayman Islands, supposedly 25% of the world's wealth.
Yeah.
We're the best. We are supposedly our niches, guys. Our niches in the UK. Supposedly, we're the best at freaking hiding money, so nobody knows who owns it. Because we're the best in class with creating trusts and
Yeah.
LLCs, but basically make it so you don't own shit. And because of our laws, you don't you don't have to reveal who owns
You could
shit.
do diddly squat. You can't do
Yes, they
crap.
can't do shit about it. We're more protective than fucking Switzerland. And that's what's allowed us to
And yeah,
become the
Switzerland
biggest
have been very
accounting
good at that for
biggest
a while.
countries in the world and the biggest finance industry in the world. We effectively became a bank. Our British Empire became a bank. So all the big companies, right? Unilever, Google, Disney, Apple, Tesla, all of them use our services in Britain. They have something in Britain and they're probably paying British tax. Yes, Ireland's got its little pitsy thing, but we're where the real wealth happens. Supposedly, America was that desperate, that jealous, it tried to get in the action as well in some of the islands in the fucking Caribbean. On that little secret Panama, freaking the Panama Papers and Panama, the money laundering and untraceable accounts. So, what is religion realistically?
What is religion realistically? What do
All,
you think it is?
well, all I can think of is something has to do with faith and following that faith to the best
It's
of
a
your
control
ability.
system. A control system. It's to set you in a certain mindset and to control you. They've used religion as a way of control, a way to subjugate the population, and a way to keep them docile and weak. Religion's a way as a control mechanism. It's a way to have them fight each other. While they fight each other, they're divided and they cannot see what's coming from beneath them.
There are many religions.
Yes, very many religions created by big empires at the time of their creation as a way of control. The Aztecs had their own religion because it was a fundamental way of the control. The British had our religion. We created our own religion, our own sect of Christianity, and spread it far and wide primarily because the Pope wanted to, because a king of ours at the time wanted to effectively be able to own his own, be able to marry someone. That, and he also wanted to have control over his population.
I would say, like, when it comes to religion, God doesn't need to be the center of a belief to be considered religion. I've seen some religions where it's like, it teaches you about this. It may have some great life advice, but ultimately speaking, God is missing in it.
Did you know that some of the Muslim kings, right? Saudi Arabia and the UAE, they might be part Jewish as well.
That's it.
You've got to remember, a lot of Victoria has been around for so long. The British Empire has been around for a long time, right? You don't think the monarchy at some point in time, maybe not in the 13th century, 10th century, but the 13th century, married into the Jewish occult, the Jewish families. You don't think them at some time married into the Rothschild family, became effectively the heirs to the British Empire. With that amount of wealth they had, right? I don't think it would be hard for them to marry a prince.
I'll be honest.
But the thing is, though, they would have him take on it.
That's true.
They'd have him take on a different name. It wouldn't be Rothschild. It'd be something else. Maybe he was a bat. Maybe he came from supposedly Victoria. The Rothschilds have been around since the 18th, 17th, and 16th century, right? Maybe even 14th century, right? And they've been amassing the wealth for years, right? Who's to say that Queen Victoria didn't marry half her children off to certain Rothschilds in Germany, Austria, and other nations, even Russia. So what was World War One about?
Which answer are we going for?
Why do you think it was started? For what was the end goal, and why was it started?
For control.
People would. Oh yeah.
We know it was for control, but what was the main purpose? Don't you think it's a little bit weird how there was like 50, maybe 60 royal families back in World War One, and now there's less than 10. I think the main goal of World War One was to basically eliminate World War One and World War Two were to eliminate effectively most royal families, get rid of them, destroy them, and have them abolished. I think the end goal was to get rid of them, abolish them, and to make them disappear. Anybody still there?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if things cut out, but yeah. I think the end goal was to have them abolished, get rid of them, clear up competition, I think at that time there were multiple royal families vying for power and multiple different people vying for power at the time, and I think they wanted to clear out the rubbish. It's ironic though because they basically had Queen Victoria's grandchildren were basically killing each other off, which is quite hilarious. Because effectively the Russian Tsar, right, and the Russian Tsar, right, the Russian Tsar and effectively his family, right, they effectively got wiped out. And effectively, once they got wiped out, effectively Russia became a communist state known as the USSR. And Yugoslavia and Serbia then invaded Montenegro and then destroyed their royal family. Yeah. And then I think you have any kings of Italy. I think they were taken out in World War II, and most of the German kings, they were eliminated after World War One, or were forced to abdicate after. And even the Swedish king, the Swedish king, right, queen, right. I think she was forced to abdicate, right. But the Swedish queen, right, who was or Swedish princess, right, who was Philip's aunt, right. She was a heavy supporter of most of Philip's family, right. They were supporters of Hitler. Is that us?
Yeah.
Okay.